In this fun Destiny 2 build video, you'll have 3 methods to suspend targets. 2 of them are from your abilities, and the third one is from this new exotic bow that just came out. The primary focus of this build is to suspend targets as frequently as possible. If you'd like to see more of these, be sure to hit that like and sub button. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Let us first start with the first main way to suspend targets. This exotic Strand bow that just came out at the time that I'm recording, and here's what it does. The weapon perk is called Silk Bound Slayer. So whenever a target is suspended, it deals bonus damage, and it would also gain a faster draw time for a short duration whenever you suspend a target from any source. And whenever you get precision hits and final blows, it would build up energy towards a Snare Weaver arrow that can be fired from the hip. So there are going to be 6 charges in order for you to proc the Snare Weaver. So if you would just get a single kill, it would give you 1 charge. But if you would get a precision final blow, it would give you 2 charges. And if you want to get the most amount of charges for this bow, you would have to kill major enemies to get 3 charges whenever you kill them. But primarily, you're mainly going to be killing red bar enemies, so you're roughly going to be getting 1 to 2 charges. At the time that I'm recording right now, there is no possible way for me to acquire a catalyst for this bow. And if you guys are curious to know why I am not able to acquire the catalyst right now, it's because, who would have guessed, it's time gated. Yay! But let me show you guys the new ones that are for this bow. The first one would allow your Snare Weaver traps to last longer, and the second one will allow you to suspend more targets with the Snare Weaver trap. Those are the 2 new catalysts, but you can only pick one. And the one that I do recommend going for is this one. The Snare Weaver traps can suspend more targets. So once you have 6 charges for this bow, all you would have to do is hit fire and be sure to aim it towards the enemy. Once you do, the enemy will walk into it and automatically be suspended. And what's cool about this is that, let's just say you did not kill that enemy that was suspended. All it would do is that he will drop down, walk a bit more, and get suspended again, which is pretty nice. Or you could also lure enemies to your trap for them to be suspended as well. There's different play styles to this, which I kind of like for this bow. So for this video, I'm choosing to put this exotic helmet because of the armor perk. Weapon final blows with a damage type matching your subclass, aka Strand, it would grant you death throws, which provides a grenade damage bonus. That part doesn't matter, but this one does, and grants you grenade energy, which we really want. And now let's head to the Warlock subclass, aka the Broodweaver. Here are the abilities that you guys would need to use. For your class ability, be sure to put Healing Rift for consistent healing whenever you're inside it. And for the Strand Grenade, I did already mention this, be sure to put Shackle Grenade. Now for the Aspect, this one will allow you to suspend targets whenever you get a direct impact with a Tangle. So whenever you yeet your Tangle to an enemy, they would automatically become suspended. And if you would also get a Threadling Final Blow, it would also create a Tangle. And the second aspect will allow you to be a walking suspending brute when dealing with adds. But all you would have to do is consume your Shackle Grenade to activate Weaver's Trance. Final blows while Weaver's Trance is active creates a suspending detonation. Now let's head to the fragments. This one will allow you to generate grenade energy when dealing damage. The second one will grant you woven mail whenever you pick up an orb of power. The third one will increase the duration for suspend, unravel, and sever. So in this build, we're going to be using all 3 of those effects. And also, whenever you get unraveling rounds, you will have the ability to stun anti-barrier champions. And also, whenever you suspend targets, you would also be able to stun unstoppable champions. And the last fragment, whenever you have woven mail, weapon final blows creates a tangle. So for the 3 main ways for you to suspend targets are your Shackle Grenade, your Tangle, and the Wish Keeper. And now let's head to the energy weapon. In this video, I was using this arc fusion rifle that comes with lead from gold and volt shot. I chose to put this one because I would like to stun overload champions. That's pretty much why, but you don't really have to use this one. You can change this one if you like. And for the power weapon, be sure to put a Strand power weapon if you want to suspend targets with this one as well. So I'm using this Strand machine gun, and the perks that you would want to go for this machine gun are Slice. Whenever you cast your class ability, it will allow you to proc Sever on targets for a brief duration. So this is the weapon that would proc Sever to targets. And the second one, you can go for two if you like. You can either go for Onslaught. Final blows with this weapon increases its fire rate, or you can go for Hatchling. Precision final blows or rapidly defeating targets with a non-precision weapon spawns a threadlink at the target's location. So for me, in my personal opinion, I recommend going for Hatchling for those minor ad clearing. And you can also stun anti-barrier champions with this power weapon. As what you see here for the seasonal artifacts, this is what I was using for this build. And here are the main ones that you should be going for this build. This one, whenever you pick up an orb of power, it would grant your Strand weapons unraveling rounds. The next one, whenever you break a combatant shield with a Strand weapon, it would have a chance to suspend that combatant. And last but not least, damaging and unravel the target with a weapon occasionally spawns a threadling, which, remember, threadling kills equals a tangle. And now let's talk about what stats you should be using for this build. Of course, with every PvE build, you got to go for resilience to give you that 30% damage reduction if you have tier 10 resilience. And secondly, go for discipline because it decreases the cooldown of your grenades. And we're going to need to use that if we want to keep spamming our suspend. And now let me show you guys what armor mods you guys should be using for this build. Let's start with the helmet. The first one, whenever you get a double kill or more with Strand weapons, it would give you an orb of power, which is Harmonic Siphon. The second one will allow you to get bonus super energy on melee kills, and it's called Hands On. And this one I chose to put Heavy Ammo Finder, increases the drop chance of heavy ammo. That's our second weapon we're mostly going to be using for this build. For the gauntlets, I chose to put Heavy Handed. Your powered melee final blows create an orb of power. And the second one is Impact Induction. Causing damage with a powered melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. And last but not least, I would like to get even more grenade energy, so I put Grenade Kickstart. What this does basically is that it would consume your armor charges and it would convert it into grenade energy. And now onto the chest armor. I put two resist mods. The first one is arc resistance. The second one is solar resistance. You can change these two resist mods depending on what activity you're playing, but the main one you got to put is charged up. This one will allow you to increase the maximum number of stacks of armor charges you can carry by one. So we now have 4 instead of 3. Now for the leg armor, I would like to put more healing for this build, so I put recuperation. Replenishes health each time you pick up an orb of power. And the second one reduces the grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power, and that is innervation. And if you would like to get even more armor charges, to proc the grenade kickstart mod, put elemental charge. Whenever you destroy a Strand tangle, it would have an escalating chance to give you an armor charge. And now for the Warlock bond, I put bomber. It would reduce the grenade cooldown whenever you activate your class ability. And I put powerful attraction as well if you're too lazy collecting orbs of power. It would automatically collect nearby orbs of power when you activate your rift. And also, whenever you activate your rift, your next weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. And this mod is called Reaper. And if you guys would like to check out the build for yourself, the dim link will be in the link in the description. And also, join the Discord! What are you guys' thoughts on the Wishkeeper? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? What are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments. For me personally, it seems fun. If you guys are into suspending, this is pretty good. But I know this weapon is going to be better when I get the catalyst for it. If you guys would like to see more Destiny 2 builds, be sure to hit that like and sub button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next Destiny 2 video. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, or afternoon. Take care and peace.